Welcome back to the workshop. My name's Gladys. Just a little catch up with what I'm doing today, and what I've been able to do is enlighten myself in the art of tool grinding. It's always been a bit of anathema to me. I've tried in the past and just had no results whatsoever. But today we seem to have mastered it a little bit. No way is this a professional video of how to grind lathe tools, but it might help idiots like me who are beginners. What I'm grinding at the moment is 8mm by 8mm HSS 5% cobalt. Did I say 8mm by 8mm long blanks? And as I say, I've tried in the past and got absolutely nowhere. I've watched all the videos that I can, and one of my problems is I have a tremor, not because I've got some horrible disease or anything, it's just something I've always had. I can remember trying to fly model aircraft with radio control, and as soon as the plane was airborne I was like a jelly. Anyway, that's something else. So it's not been practicable for me to use the grinder in the fashion that's suggested on YouTube by other people who do the tutorials very expertly and show you exactly how to grind a tool. But they're holding the tools in the main, I think, freehand, and always extol the virtues of being able to grind freehand. Well, I can't do that because I shake, and so it's not been easy to sharpen tools. Anyway, I'll show you what I've done to overcome it, because there's always strategies for everything in life, isn't there? And I have plenty of strategies for getting me through life. Right, I will show you what I've done to my very cheap B&Q grinder. It hasn't got the power to pull the skin off a rice pudding, but I can grind these tools with it now. So hang on for a second and we'll have a look at it. Right, we're at the grinder. I have turned all of 30 degrees to reach it. As I said, it's a very small, cheap £20 grinder from B&Q. And what I've added to it, because when you get them standard, they've got a very small, they say adjustable rest, but all it does is follow the grindstone in as you wear it away. It doesn't adjust to any angle or anything. So I bought these two Veritas adjustable stands for grinding. I think they mainly set them up for grinding blades for wood planes and things like that, and chisels. But when I saw them I thought, with my problems, they look like I might be able to adapt them to do the job. Now, all the data I use for grinding my tools I get off the internet, and this came off one site, I can't remember what it was, stevesworkshop.co.uk, and he gives suggested angles for cutting different materials, but in the main it appears that the end relief of the tool is 8 degrees. the side relief can be anything from 16 to 20 and so on. Back rake 5 degrees up to 8 degrees. So what I've done, I've set both of these adjustable tables to 8 degrees. I did that by grinding the tip, the stock tip, which comes on these. They've already got a rake on them, but that's about 15 degrees. So what I did, I made this contraption that slides in the slots that are in these two things, and I just got a M6 bolt and a piece of scrap bar, and I can slacken it off and set it to a right angle, or 8 degrees, or 15 degrees. I can set it to any angle, and it helps me attain the perfect cut and the perfect angle. So when this is at 90 degrees, I go up to the stone. This is the rough stone, that's the smooth stone, and I rough it off until, by measurement, I get 8 degrees on the tip using the likes of this. And I say at the moment those are about 15 degrees. I've set this to 8, and I've set these to 8, so I get 8 degrees on the tip. And the success I've had so far has been able to get that 8 degrees quite easily on the end. And then for the relief, for the front relief, you can turn it like that and get your 8 degrees, and for the top relief you can turn it like that and get your 8 degrees. So it's a pretty general angle, but it seems to work. I've made several tools. This is what I made this morning. It's a 45. So I set up my little steady for 45 degrees, cut one side off, turn this the other way, cut the other side off, and then just for a few seconds, and of course this will transfer to the smooth stone, I can just give it a couple of strokes just to bring it up to sharpness, and then I stone them with a little oil stone, and they cut really well. That does me 45 degrees. I don't know if these are at all visible, but there's a 45 on that, and that tool cut it. I also machined the front and the side with well, I haven't got it to hand, but another tool I made for cutting like that. I've got a tool I made the other day for threading, that's got 60 degree angles on it, and that cut a thread. And lastly, as you know, the only finish you can do on the end of anything with a lathe is either a chamfer or a square. But because you can I can grind my own tools now, I ground a form tool, and I can put a round on the end of things, and that worked. Anyway, I just thought I'd show how I overcome my problems to be able to grind tools. and it's done very cheaply with this B&Q grinder. The only thing about grinding is the ruddy dust, and the other thing you've got to have with a grinder, cheap or otherwise, is a dressing tool. I've run grinders without dressing tools, and I didn't realise what these did, because they vibrate away like merry hell. But if you've got a dressing tool, you dress the stone, and as well as square it up, it brings it back into balance, and the machine runs quietly. So that's me bit of knowledge about grinding. Not a lot, but I thought I'd just share that, because it's got me out of a hole now. I can grind tools which work in my lathe, which I'm very pleased about. So thanks for watching. Please press the like button. Somebody comment, even if it's rude, and it might just spur me on to do some more. Of course, I accept no responsibility through people dying through boredom. I'm afraid you watch these videos at your own risk. Okay, thank you. Bye now.